proxies. Another massive improvement in SEnuke TNG is how it uses proxies. Now, proxies are used to hide your computer on the internet. Every device on the internet has basically an IP address, and this identifies that one computer amongst all the others around the world. When search engines and websites see multiple requests of similar nature all coming from one IP address, well, it starts to look a bit odd, because that's the action of a bot, doing the same thing over and over again. So what we do is we run these requests through multiple different IPs, and that makes it look like we are many different people rather than just one, thus helping to hide the fact that we are a bot and making it look real. Now, in previous versions of SEnuke, it was one campaign, one IP. However, that rule has been thrown completely out of the window with SEnuke TNG, and you can now have as many IPs in here as you want. If you want to put in hundreds of proxies, you can put in hundreds of proxies, and every thread will use a different IP, and those IPs will rotate through all of your proxies one by one. So if you have 100 proxies and there's 1,000 sites, each one's only going to get used 10 times throughout the entire process of SEnuke, whereas before it would get used 1,000 times. So to add your own proxies into SEnuke, all you need to do is go into the Options menu, go to the Proxies tab and click Add Proxy List. You can use any type of proxy, either IP authenticated, in which case you just copy in the proxy list here in the format of proxy and port, or if they're password authenticated, put the proxies in here and enter the username and password for the proxies over here, and then just add them into the list and they will magically appear. Now we can also test the proxies in SEnuke. I'll just test all my proxies here. This does a couple of different tests. Firstly, it tests whether the proxy is good or bad in that can it actually reach any destinations. And it also checks to see if this proxy is working on Google or not. Now, in most cases, it isn't actually that important that the proxy works on Google in SEnuke, because we don't actually do very much interaction with the Google website itself. But it's always nice to know that your proxies are super clean and super good. And now you can see here my 50 proxies that I'm using in this example. They're all clean and they all work with Google. Now you can automate that testing, so it tests every hour just to make sure that your proxies are good. I don't usually bother doing that because I know these proxies are very high quality. They come from a very good source and they worked for years without any problems. But if you're a little bit suspicious about where your proxies came from, or they're not the highest quality, you can run an auto test every single hour, and any that stop working it will automatically disable. You can also set it to re-enable them after a while, just in case they come back on. It will basically check them and then turn them back on if they're working. If you've got no proxies in here because every single one of your proxies has failed, SEnuke will actually stop and alert you to this fact. Now there's a couple of examples down here of places where you can get proxies, including some special offers. But if you don't want to buy any proxies, we now have thousands of proxies built into SEnuke. All you need to do is select the SEnuke proxies and it will use our own list of proxies. Now there is no limit to this list. You can use them as much as you want. You can send Nuke all day long if you want, 24/7 using our proxies. Now, one other major improvement in SEnuke TNG with regards to proxies is that these proxies now only apply to SEnuke. With previous versions of SEnuke, if you used a proxy, it actually applied to the entire of your Windows installation. So even your Internet Explorer ended up using that proxy. That has now been removed. The proxies you put in here will not interfere with anything else that is happening on your computer. For most users, the built-in SEnuke proxies is all you will need. You're only going to need the custom proxies if you're a very heavy hitter, or you want to do some specific things, in particular with custom site creations. But most people, these built-in ones, that's it, you're done.